I'm up here first because I have to dive away in about 15 minutes. So it's not because I think anyone thought that I should kick off. I think probably it should have been one of the others, but never mind. Because the critic always kind of comes third in these discussions, don't they? I think they should, and I think that's right. I think the creative people always should have the first word. But nonetheless, I do think when it comes to this question about making the case for the arts, people in my position, my privileged position, if you like, of seeing a hell of a lot of creative work and being paid to write about it so far, although that can end at any minute with the condition of the media industries, but nonetheless, being paid to write about it. We are in a privileged position because it is easier for us, if we choose to do so, and a lot of us do, to make the case for the arts than it is for artists themselves to do it. Artists themselves are often rightly uncertain about what they're doing, questioning more than giving answers, feeling that they're on a journey which may sometimes be in a very sort of upbeat and positive phase, but may at other times be in a very difficult phase, which involves a lot of struggle, which people don't want to expose and all the rest of it. Whereas people like me, who sit and watch the work and actually are personally enriched, by a life of experiencing other people's creativity and trying to contribute in a small way creatively by writing about it, we are in a position to say this matters more than anyone can put into words. This matters so tremendously that no matter how diffident or tired or problematic any given artist may be feeling at any given moment, they must believe that what they do is tremendously important to our culture, to our collective life, but to the whole idea of what it is to be human. I mean, if you look back into the very earliest dawn of humanity, it's quite obvious that we've always had two really major impulses. One is to survive and to thrive, in other words, to get the best, materially for ourselves and our nearest and dearest. But the other is to, in some way, make a mark, record what it is that we do and what it is that we see around us, reflect on our lives. The unreflected life is not worth living, and I really believe that's true. I think it's a definition of humanity that we reflect on our lives, we record them, and we try and always fail and try again and try better to make sense of them. So I feel in a privileged position because I feel it's part of my job as a critic to be making that case for the arts all the time, and I try to do it in every arena. I'm a political columnist as well as a theatre critic, and I do that, and I truly believe in it because I know how my own life has been completely changed, uplifted, enriched, and made colourful and beautiful and sort of worth having by this experience. But there's one other thing I'd like to say just before I wind up, and that is that I think at the moment, this really is our moment as people who work in creative industries and in creative ways, because I think we're obviously, as a planet, as a species and as a society, approaching some kind of epochal crunch at which the resources are not going to be there anymore for us to live in the way that we have lived, at least for the last 200 years or 300 years since the Industrial Revolution. It's been a period of tremendous material advance, and anybody who knows any of the sort of great artworks, of the last 200 years knows how they record that tremendous surge into the cities, that huge upsurge in industrial production, that massive increase in the sheer quantity of material goods that people had in their life. I always remember watching that fantastic series of films, Heimat, and noticing how at the sort of beginning of the 20th century in the small German village where it's set, people just hardly had anything. They had like a bowl, a spoon, a dress, a best dress. That was it, Now we are just absolutely covered in the things that we have acquired through this recent phase of human history that we've lived through, which has sucked resources out of the earth and frankly turned most of them into junk, things that are neither useful nor beautiful, things that we could do without. But some of the things that it has turned them into are not junk and have greatly enhanced people's lives. So we are approaching an epochal shift where we can't do that anymore. We can't simply assume that an ever-increasing weight of material goods is the way towards happiness, and we can no longer have a society which articulates itself culturally by encouraging people to buy material goods, whether they really need them or not, and encouraging them to feel bad if they can't get them, and so on, and all the mechanisms that we know about. So we're going to be looking at a shift in our definitions of fulfillment, of purpose and of what makes a valuable and enriched life. And I think it's absolutely clear that creative work, cultural work, being a creative person is absolutely at the core of being able to lead a rich, challenging, exciting, dynamic life without trashing the planet by constantly needing more material goods in order to show that we're doing that. Now, of course, as an industry, we have to be sensitive to the fact that we ourselves are not always very green. Lots of people have flown here to Edinburgh to be at this festival. We have to start analysing all of these issues. But at the core of what we do is something which really does not cost as much money as many other activities, and that is the wish of people to communicate with each other. It can happen for free, and we see it happening for free on this fringe. We all know that it's not a good thing that it always happens for free because people have to make a living from it. But nonetheless, this is an activity which at its core is about human exchange, which is not a resource-draining thing. It's a resource-creating thing. It gives people the energy to live better lives, to believe that they can live without devastating the world around them, and to have rich, full and beautiful lives which are about exchange rather than about exploitation and destruction. So I really believe in the creative future of humanity, because I think if we have a future, that's the only one we're going to have. Thank you.